In the darkest night, we find our light. Battered souls, but we won't lose sight. Surviving together, never alone. Through every trial, we carry on. Surviving together, never alone.
See you, we hear you, and we believe you. Hi everyone, how are you doing tonight? Welcome to Surviving Together, a safe place for sexual assault and other trauma survivors to get together, chat, connect with each other, and share in your healing journey. Let's see who we have here tonight. We have Crystal. I saw pictures, Crystal. You're moved into a bedroom. I am so excited for you. I am so happy and proud of you. That's just got to be an absolutely wonderful feeling. And I couldn't be happier that you love your new place. So that is just absolutely fabulous. And we have our lovely body illusion here. Oh my gosh, girl. Everyone has been asking about you. If you want to give an update as to what your situation is, what the prognosis is, what the treatment is, where we go from here, type of thing, feel free to share. And I will then also share on video. But do not feel obligated, okay? I know that our health is personal, and just know that we are all thinking of you, and I love the shorts that you've put up recently. Glad you're getting, you feel okay enough to at least do that, and we're just happy that you're with us. So Crystal says, I got my TV and DVD player set up today. Also, most of the kitchen is set up. Woohoo! That is so awesome. I can't wait until you are totally set up and just living, just living in the space, and don't have any more work to do in regards to it. So fabulous. And Sharing with Shannon is here. Yoo-hoo! For those of you who don't know, and I actually haven't even had time to post, I've been so busy with work. Shannon was here on Monday. We actually got to meet. She stopped by the house. She knows the painting. She saw the room. And we had a lovely chat and some time in the afternoon. And I made dinner, and we got a chance to do that. For all of you who are here right now, let's see, Echo is here. Welcome, Echo, living my best life at 60. And Ruby's mom, Ellen, I'm so glad you are here as well. Oh, Shannon posted the picture on Facebook. Oh, good. I want to do I'll post one on our community page. And that reminds me, Shannon, can you send me the pictures that you took with your phone? Because I think we got some better ones with yours than with mine. Today's topic is the connection between your gut health and your mental health. And this is a huge subject. And based on how I've been feeling today, I've been battling a headache all day, and I was super pissed off about it when I woke up this morning with it. And about an hour ago, it started snowing here. So storm is coming through. I should feel a bit better by morning, but it's been a little difficult getting everything together on this subject that I want to share for you. And also in getting everything, I realized how big of a subject this was and how much there was that I wanted to share, that it's going to have to be a two-parter. So we will be continuing this on Saturday. So any of you who are here for specifically for this discussion, please tune in Saturday at 3 p.m. if you can, or you can listen on replay. We will be continuing this discussion and getting much more in depth, actually. Today's going to be kind of an intro. I'm going to present the newest research that tickled the subject in my brain. And if you ask, why are you covering gut health and the connection to the brain? You're a trauma survivor channel mainly. Well, it's because we know how much trauma affects us physically. We know the stress that it causes. We know the depression symptoms and anxiety that a lot of us have. And your gut health is totally connected to all of that. So this is really an important topic to discuss. Got lots of people driving today. Ruby's laying down and listening, and somebody else was driving, and Janet is here, carry on, and she is driving. Ruby, not feeling so great, but sending hugs and love. Well, hugs and love right back to you, because I am in the same boat. So we are going to have a little bit of an intro. Oh, sorry, Echo is driving. We're going to have a little bit of an intro to the subject, and we'll continue on Saturday. Plus, on Saturday, big, 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 humongous, gigantic announcement I have on Saturday. I cannot speak of it until then, so you will just have to tune in on Saturday to see what it is. I am super excited, um, giddy in fact, so I can't wait to share it all with you. Um, Oh, yeah, Shannon let me know that she wasn't feeling good either. So hugs and love to you too. Feel like you're coming down with a stomach virus. Ugh. Um, Text me these symptoms, would you? So I can just kind of be on the lookout for it. So um, if you could, yeah, text me your symptoms so I know what you're feeling, and I'll make sure to analyze what I'm feeling and make sure it's just not this headache, and that it's something else. So I hope I don't get it as well. I hope you got it from somewhere else. We weren't sharing a drinking cup, and there was no kissing, so hopefully we'll be good. um, what else? So before we get into the topic tonight, quick reminder about our clothesline project that we have going on. Um, we are accepting entries until the submissions until the April 1st. And on Sunday at 11 o'clock, and there is a thumbnail up for it, we will be crafting. Crystal and I will be crafting our own t-shirts. And if you would like to join, please do. You can join and just be in the chat like this, or we can, I can fit a whole bunch of people up on the screen as well. So if you want to be on the screen and on video, or at least on audio, and join us chatting that way, you are welcome to. So look forward to having you guys all on Sunday, and then getting pictures of your t-shirts and sending them on in to me. Put my banner up real quick with the email if I can find where I put it. There it is. So SurvivingTogether, sass@gmail.com is the email, and that's where all submissions should go to. There is a community post about this, so if you have questions and want to know more about what the different colors of the t-shirts mean, please just look for that on the community post. And Tommy, I realize that I am doing a lot of uhs tonight, and I'm going to blame not feeling so great. So that is that. Okay, let me get back. Body Illusion says she's okay, but just a little pooped. uh, I am just so glad. Hey, Cosmic, how you doing? So glad you are here. Cosmic Christie is here. I am happy, happy, happy to see you. Um, I owe you an email, or if you can email me, I really want to I want to connect with you and get a time, that would be good for us to talk. We can do like a private StreamYard, um, just to be able to talk one-on-one on video and figure out what we can do about having you on, because I definitely want you on as a guest here coming up. So let me know what would be a good time for you, a good day for you, next week, or if it's the weekend, whatever works for you. I'm up super early, which I know is your evening. So, if that works, we could do something like that as well. Oh, look, Tommy, I know you're not here, but I'm touching my face, and it's habit, and because I can't change my avatar yet for when I go off camera. I'm going to show you guys, because people are wondering what I was talking about. I go off camera and you have this big S for Surviving Together, right? But I want to change that picture. And people are like, well, just go up here to the edit button and you can edit your avatar. Well, the problem is that just shows me that I can edit my live stream. It's not editing um, my picture, even when I'm not live. It was that way. So I'm not 100% sure, and I don't have this S even on there as a choice, so it's just done that by default. Um, so I don't know, there's something up there. I got to play with it, and we'll get that changed. So if I do go off, then you actually have the logo or something other than just the S. Let's see. Okay, I think that's it for right now. Great, Christy. I'll look for your email. That'd be awesome. Um, so health wise, we talk about, I know people have probably heard a lot about gut health and prebiotics and um, probiotics, and maybe even fermented foods, and that they're all good for your gut. And that's all true. And I'm going to speak about all that kind of stuff on Saturday and how that plays into the larger picture of our mental health. Um, be safe, Echo. Drive safe. That's the most important. And yeah, you can catch the rest of the replay. Thanks, Shannon, for throwing up all those links. I really appreciate it. Um, so why did I choose this topic? What niggled my brain? Well, there's some brand new research that came out in regards to the connection between anxiety and your gut health. And just as a brief intro to the connection, this brain gut connection, it was thought for a long time that your gut handled digestion. That's what it did. And that's true. That is absolutely 100% true. It handles your digestion from your esophagus and the swallowing all the way down through your stomach and your intestines and to your rectum and the elimination of waste. It controls all of that. So what your gut biome, that just means the home of all these bacteria and viruses and parasites, and there's all kinds of good and bad stuff living in your stomach and in your digestive system. But if we're balanced, it lives in harmony. And the good takes care of the bad, and the bad doesn't affect us negatively. For a long time, we thought that the brain was in charge of, and it is pretty much solely in charge of things like decision making, creativity, language, motor control, so being able to move your body, homeostasis, which just means the things that keep us alive: sleep, hunger, thirst, regulation of our internal temperature. Hey, Aquarius, how are you today? Very, very happy to have you here tonight. Cosmic says people with autism often have awkward gut health. That is absolutely true, and there seems to be a connection with people with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's as well. Um, Something that I may touch on Saturday, because it goes into the larger discussion of not just um, mental conditions such as depression and anxiety, um, but also cognitive function, cognitive conditions. And so, along with the things that I just mentioned about the brain, it's also in charge of breathing, sensory process, all your senses, your five senses, um, the coordination of your body functions, such as your heart rate and your breathing and your digestion. So, while the gut is in charge of digestion in terms of just the physical functions of getting from swallowing to elimination of it. Swallow, digest, waste, right? And it was just in charge of that. And the brain more was telling it how to do things. This is old ideas, and they very much had them separated. But it turns out that there is a direct connection between our central nervous system, which controls all of the functions in our brain, and our gut, because our gut actually has what they call the second brain. And this is the enteric nervous system, okay, or ENS, and your central nervous system being CNS. So our second brain down there actually plays a huge, huge role in our health and in our brain functions, in things like some cognition and emotional regulation, which the brain is also in charge of, and the digestion, obviously, that I listed. So, and I'll get more into this on Saturday, but there's the vagus nerve, which runs from your brain to your colon. So it's this huge nerve. And we've talked about the vagus nerve in terms of calming your central nervous system because it's part of that. And so if you have anxiety, or if you're just running on that red alert as most trauma survivors, or that yellow alert as most trauma survivors do, we're always in kind of a heightened state of awareness. Um, Calming your vagus nerve calms your central nervous system, that is going to calm you down. Well, it also turns out that's part of our little superhighway between our brain and our gut, and the two talk to each other quite a bit, a lot, in fact. And there is a lot more research that needs to be done on this. One is a lot of research that they've discovered, particularly with our gut health, hasn't been researched. They haven't had clinical studies in humans. It's been contained, within looking at gut bacteria and looking at signals and looking at our central nervous system, but they haven't done a whole, I won't say a whole lot, they haven't done as many things with human trials as needed. So a lot more stuff is needed. Hey, Jimena, don't worry about being late. I was saying I'm just kind of introing this topic tonight, and I'm going to talk a lot more about it on Saturday. So we're going to have a huge, huge live on Saturday, along with a big, 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 big announcement, which I am just like bursting at the seams to tell y'all, but I can't. So you're just going to have to wait till Saturday's live at 3 to hear about that. So talking about this connection between the brain the um, and our gut, you know, let's take depression, for instance. It was thought that, we had depression. They put SSRI medication, serotonin uptake medication, And that's how we were helping our depression. Well, as it turns out, 90 to 95% of our serotonin lives in our gut. We have uptake receptors in our brain, and there is some serotonin there, but most of it is in our gut. And believe it or not, 50% of our dopamine hormones live in our gut as well, along with 80% of our immune cells are in our gut. So huge, huge, huge implications for our overall health by having a healthy gut with all of these essential hormones living in our digestive system. Hey, Thindu, how are you? Hey, Chris, what's going on? Lord Kiss Freak is in the house. Everyone say hi. It's been a long time. Glad to see you. How are you? Freezing like I am? Because you're even farther north than I am. Thinking of you, Crystal, and I'm thinking of you, Janet, because all my Canadian friends, whoo-wee, thanks for sending this cold weather. It was like 8 this morning when I woke up, so which was like negative 15 Celsius or something like that. And that was without the wind chill. Hey, Thindu, so glad. Thank you for stopping in. I know that you are on your way to eating and getting some sleep. So thanks for just dropping by. Appreciate it. Definitely drop by though on Saturday, Thindu, because I have a huge announcement. You guys are hear me say that about a bazillion times because I'm so excited about it. But that'll have to wait till Saturday. So what is the what came out of this? What really, ticked me off to, or not, I'm just not ticked off in a bad way. What ticked me to, talk about this today? Well, it was a recent study, and there's going to be more studies that I'm going to bring to the forefront on Saturday because I'm going to be speaking about the link between your gut health, depression, anxiety, stress, your immune system, and overall mood regulation and mental health. You know, if you've ever doubted the connection between the two, you only need to think about a time where you got really, really stressed out and then your stomach hurt. It was either cramping or you lost your appetite or, something of that nature, right? Well, that's because your brain, the stress that you were feeling, is increasing that cortisol, stress hormone in our body. And our brain is talking to through neurotransmitters and our central nervous system is talking to our gut and saying, we don't feel so good. You need to suppress the immune system, which as I just said, 80% of those immune cells live in our gut. And it can cause muscle contractions or tissue contractions. That's why you feel stomach cramps and things like that. There's absolutely no doubt. Science 100% believes that there is this connection between the two, and it's just the ramifications of what this connection means that are really just now coming out. And the studies that have been in the past couple years are really the most important ones, I would say. There has been some groundbreaking stuff that has happened since 2020 that I've seen, but a lot in 2023 and a lot in 2024. So 2025 still to be determined. We'll see what comes out then. Hey, ALV, how you doing tonight? So glad you're here. Thanks for stopping in. If you guys don't know, ALV does some amazing ghost stories and talks about the history of them. He's been going state by state. I think he said Montana was next, and that's 8 p.m. on Fridays. So if I got that wrong, please correct me. And Shannon has already thrown up his channel with the 8 p.m. Eastern, and that is on Fridays, guys. And please check him out if you're interested in that kind of thing. I find it fascinating because I love the history that he puts behind it. And it's not just telling scary ghost stories around a campfire type of thing. Yep, Montana. Okay, woohoo, got it right. So what was the recent study? Let me pull it up. So this is a study out of Duke, and it was actually co-written along with the National Neuroscience Institute. And what they discovered is that in our gut, we have microbes called inoles. And they have found a direct link between the amount and the health of the anoles in our gut system and how much anxiety a person would exhibit. And this has to do with a lot of there's a lot of science behind it, the chemicals that are affected, and that's not something that I'm prepared to get into right now. My headache has just prevented me from boiling all that down into something that's a little more understandable. But the one thing I do want to stress is this study was done in mice. So as I had said, a lot more human studies are needed. So this isn't anything that they've gone, oh, in a human, boom, fix this and it's going to fix your anxiety. No, but they discovered that if they had an environment where their guts did not have these indoles, I'm sorry, indoles. If they didn't have these, then there was a significant increase in the amount of anxiety that was going on. And they measured the level of anxiety because of different chemicals and things that were being released in the system. And that's how they were able to measure it. They'd be great if we could just ask the mice and go, hey, how do you feel? But we don't have an AI converter for mice speak yet. So this connection, they're very excited about it. And I'm going to be going into more in depth about connection between gut health and anxiety because there is a lot to discuss in regards to this. But this newest research is really stating that they're very excited about being able to restore your gut health in people who have, high anxiety and introducing indole producing gut microbes, which can be found in different probiotics. And this can also affect therapies for anxiety. And it's amazing that some of the research that I was doing where they were discovering that, and they've already done this, people with depression, people with anxiety, where usually they would give you a pill that, is affecting your brain somehow. That was the idea. But in people where this really hasn't worked very well, they've said, let's try changing your diet. And guess what? It has worked. It has helped people's depression. Again, it's because of this, they call it the gut brain axis. And I'll speak more in depth about that on Saturday. And there is a lot of research now, and it needs to be taken into consideration. One, there is research lacking in sex specific, what did they say? In sex specific differences. So right now we kind of just have overall research. But one of the things that we've certainly learned, let's say through menopause research or just, regular drug research, is things affect women differently than they affect men. And so what they call your bio individuality, which is talking about your gut and speaking of we're all different people. and the gut isn't going to respond exactly the same in everybody. There can be generalities that we can talk to, but this is why keto diets work for some people, Atkins work for others, low carb works for somebody else, no fat works for somebody else, fasting works for some people, and other people have said, I did it, I followed it religiously, and I didn't lose a pound. Crystal, I don't know 100% on this. She says, does that mean there might be a way to treat untreatable depression? And I can't answer for certain because I don't know why it would have been labeled untreatable. If it's untreatable just because they've thrown different pills at it and nothing has worked, well, changing your diet, changing how you're eating, changing your exercise and your sleep routine, and getting your stress levels down, all of this they have found has a significant impact on depression. And so, what can we do is a topic on Saturday that I'm going to get into after I kind of um, am able to boil down some of the science for you and talk about the connections between the differences between your with your gut health and anxiety, depression, stress, all of that. And listen to all of that and see if it sounds like something that you haven't tried, because it's certainly worked in some people. Let me shout out some highs that I haven't said. Carmel, no worries about being late. I weren't that late. You were just coming in as I was starting to talk about. Hey Tommy, how you doing? Yep, I've been touching my face. I've been touching my hair. You're just gonna have to deal with it. But thanks for stopping by and listening tonight. Really appreciate it. Um, I know you're off and always doing things, always on the go. Boom, 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 boom. Bobo is here. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. Flick Fox. See, I can't do it, Flick. I'm just going to call you Flick because I get the fox in it and it's Flocks every time. My tongue just does it. Brr. I'll practice. I'll practice. Flick Fox. Flick Fox. I have to concentrate on opening my mouth with that fox so I don't go that locks route. Oh my goodness. Adam Coursier, how are you? I'm happy that you stopped in tonight as well. I think that caught everybody who I had not seen. Um, hey, Brazy, I didn't see you sneak in. There you are. How are you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. Hope your evening's going good. Um, So Crystal says maybe med resistant is a better way of explaining it. So yeah, this might be something that will work for you. Um, I'm going to talk a lot about depression and your gut health and things that have worked and what the studies have been on Saturday. So definitely tune in. And if you have any specific questions ahead of time, please email me and I'll see if I can include something on Saturday. I'll do some research, see if any of my research is keying into what you are specifically are looking at. Definitely be happy to talk about. So yeah, are there foods that we should avoid in regards to depression? Um, yeah, quickly, just processed foods, um, processed foods, fast food, sweets. Uh, basically, the closer you can get to the ground, the better. If things have not been processed, whole foods, grains, vegetables, fruits, organic meat, things that don't have additives and preservatives, all of that kind of stuff, they have shown to help with depression. And we'll speak more about that and how that stuff affects your body and why that might be, because I think it's really important. I can say, this is what the research has shown: stay away from these foods, eat these foods. And that's nice to have, But I think it's really important that we understand why that is. What is going on in our bodies that makes it so, that can increase, because we need to understand those processes, to understand the foods that we're putting in. That's not to say you can't ever have those foods, right? But they have found people living on a diet of fast foods, processed, preservatives, additives, all of this. Mental illness conditions have been on the rise for the past 50 years. And why? Obesity has been on the rise, chronic illnesses have been on the rise. And I think we do only need to look to, in part, our diet, our environment, our personal stressors, just our personal bodies, they all play a role in this. So it would be a misnomer and it would be misleading to say, fix this, eat this, and your depression's going to go away. It's not a one-to-one ratio. It's not it's not an immediate fix like that. But certainly eating healthier can definitely help. This is just for you. This is just for you, Tommy. All of this tonight. Yep, all of this. I can touch lower, but you just don't know. um, Jimena says I struggle a lot with that, especially with my eating disorder. Yeah, that's another thing that I'm going to be delving into more on Saturday as to why, with our gut health, certain eating disorders, you know, because of this connection between our mind and our body, right? Our mood, we know this, affects what we eat. And what we eat affects our gut. And our gut talks back to our brain. You see this loop? They call it bidirectional communication. So, meaning it's not a one-way street like we thought. It's not the brain telling the gut to do things, and then the gut handles the digestion and everything from your swallowing to getting rid of it. It is a two-way street. So, how our gut health is directly impacts our emotional states. And it's fascinating as to why. Um, and we'll definitely speak more about that on Saturday. Because of my headache, I just wasn't able to get all of the research in today. And the fact that there was so much more that I thought that was important to talk about. This topic, I was going to queue up something else. And then this study came out, and I saw it yesterday in an article. And I thought, this is what we need to talk about. We need to do this instead. So I'm going to be putting a much bigger presentation out on Saturday for those of you guys who are in a little later, really breaking this down and talking about the science behind it and talking about how the communication goes, but doing it in such a way that hopefully will make sense to everybody. I don't want to be talking about neurotransmitters and B2 receptors and things like that. That's just kind of go, and tend to lose a lot of people, me included. So I want to boil all that down for you guys and discuss it in a more oh gosh, see, I can't even get my words today. Just it's going to be a better presentation. Let's put it that way. Hey, Maureen, how are you doing tonight? Glad to see you. Is there anybody else I missed? Barbie, you snuck in without me seeing you. I hope you are doing well. Thank you guys all for coming. Flick says, I guess that's why they recommend probiotics when you're on long-term antibiotics. Definitely not something that I had heard of, but certainly is something that would make sense. There's a lot of medications that they're finding screws with our gut health. That's a whole nother bag of worms and something else, to discuss about the different medications that they're finding out is messing with our stress levels, messing with our immune systems, and, so side effects that they really didn't expect. So if that's the case, if we're taking a medication for one thing, then yeah, we need to be very conscious of our gut health. We need to be very conscious of what it could be doing to our gut biome and all of our bacteria in there, and figuring out, do we need to balance something out to counteract those negative effects of the medication? And this wasn't something that they thought of, really much even 5 years ago. This is definitely relatively new. We know now from recent studies that probiotics are very important to our gut health, and that particularly eating fermented foods such as yogurt or kefir, which is a fermented milk, um, sauerkraut, miso, um, kimchi, the sourdough bread, which I didn't realize. I'm like, that's one I can do, because there's certain ones on the list. I'm like, yeah, miso. It's like it's too spicy for me. It's not something that I would be into. But if you like spicy, that would be an excellent thing to add. Kefir, it's a real sour, tangy milk, but they said, use it when you're making your oatmeal, and put, and sweeten it up with maybe a little organic honey, which is good for you, and some, berries or bananas or things like that. So you can offset that sour tanginess of it, but still be getting the probiotics from the kefir. Da, 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 da. I'm just catching up with the. Okay, no worries, Crystal. The offer still stands. If there's thoughts that you have in regards to the med-resistant depression, things that you are thinking, oh, hey, based on what you've mentioned, this might be useful. If you want to, if any questions come up and you want to email me, I'd be happy to see if my research answers it. It may not. I don't know. We're just going to have to see. Like I said, I've done a lot of research in the last 24 hours since this topic um, came to my attention. And there's so much that I want to talk about and lay out in a fashion that's going to make sense for everybody. But I thought I would at least mention it tonight, um, and get started with this subject so that we can continue on Saturday. Mana says, I need to figure out my diet. Yeah, it's something that I have thought about, and I had known about probiotics, prebiotics, our gut health, that how important it is. I'd heard about all of this, and eat fermented foods, avoid processed foods. I mean, we just know it from a general health standpoint and a gaining weight standpoint, and things like that. But the studies now that have been done that are connecting what we're eating to how we feel in terms of our mood, in terms of anxiety and depression and chronic illnesses and inflammatory conditions such as IBS. There is a correlation between all of it. And it's significant that one study showed that people with IBS had a abnormally high rate of anxiety and depression. So again, this just is showing how the gut is talking to the brain, and what's going on there. So actually for IBS, they have begun to prescribe antidepressants, which you're like, wait a minute, it's an inflammatory disease. What's going on? Well, it's because of the serotonin, 90 to 95%, depending on the study that you read, lives in our gut. And that can help with managing the inflammation. So fascinating that things that we thought an antidepressant, wait, you're taking that because of our brain and the receptors in our brain and the things going on. Why would you be taking an antidepressant for IBS? But it's been helping people. So with this research into a gut health, it is just opening up so many new avenues of potential therapies. And that's the main thing that I got out of the article of the Duke research, was that these indoles, um, taking things that are indole producing, um, it can open up an avenue of therapy by not only what you eat, but then also, of course, since we live in big pharma land, a medication that is going to have it, just like you can take a pill for all your probiotics. Um, from what I've read, jury is still kind of out as to why, not why, as to whether or not just taking supplements helps. Um, I think the overriding message I got is it doesn't hurt, but we can't rely on just taking a supplement to fix everything in our gut. It's not that simple because of everything that goes on in our gut, because of the things that live there, because of our individuality, that bio individuality that I was talking about, whether you're male or female and just your individual person in general. Taking a supplement that's meant for everybody is not necessarily just going to fix your issue. So trying to get those pro and prebiotics from our diet seems to be the best way to make sure that we have a healthy gut. You know, there's other ways that they have tried to fix gut health that is interesting. It's with fecal matter. And I had read about this actually probably a year and a half ago, but they take the good stuff from people who have very healthy bio biomes, gut biomes. In the fecal matter, there's certain enzymes or proteins or whatever, I don't know, something that they can extract out of it basically, and they put it into a pill form and they give it to you. And so they're injecting good stuff. So all of the good things that a healthy person with a healthy biome has, they take that stuff and then they're injecting that into you. And from what I've read, the people who have done this, there's a certain portion of the population that absolutely swears by that therapy. You know, if I was down to nothing else, I'd try it. I mean, right? If it was a matter between getting healthy and taking a pill that I knew was derived from fecal matter, I'd do it. It's not as if you're directly eating poop, right? It's just the thought of it in general is disgusting. Bum, bum, bum. Hey, Bobo, you snuck in as well as Primo. I want to say hi to you and hope that you're doing well. And there's Mock. How you doing, Mock? Happy to see you. Says my IBS interacted with stress to activate lactose intolerance. Next stress episode activated by inflammation through sugar. 100%. There's been IBS has been one of the conditions that they're studying a lot with your gut biome and how what is going on in your gut affects IBS. And then the interesting studies that are coming out of that then are these abnormally high rates of anxiety and depression in people with IBS. So, and they estimate that 40 to 50% of the adult population is going to be affected by some sort of inflammatory, condition, gut health issue in their lifetime. So extremely important that we think about these things that are going into our bodies and how they can be affecting not just our digestive system, but our chronic illnesses. And so that all the immune diseases, all the inflammatory conditions, and our mental health. It's all connected. You know, our bodies are much, much, much more complex than we could have imagined. So piecing this out can get complicated. But really at its core is, the saying you are what you eat is so true. If you're eating healthy, your gut is going to be healthy, and that is going to affect our moods. But there is no research that is saying, listen, you have a healthy gut, you are going to be a healthy person. You're not going to get anything, you're not going to have IBS, you're not going to have depression. No, there are still other causes for these conditions. So please acknowledge that and be aware of it, that I'm not saying that a healthy gut means you're absolutely going to have a healthy body condition. Bar none, right? There are still things that can happen, and there's still things that can affect us and affect our brain and affect the way our brain is functioning that has nothing to do with our gut health. And so we can still end up having some of these conditions. So you need to talk about that, or need to consider that in any changes that you think about making, to your diet. Um, Janice says, yes, my IBS is totally linked to stress, 100%. And science is showing this. Really, science is 100% proving that IBS and stress do have a strong causal connection. I shouldn't say, I need to clarify that. Causal connection means that you have stress, you get IBS. That's not necessarily true. There can be other reasons you get IBS, but stress, definitely, there has been a direct link between stress and worsening IBS conditions or flare ups of your IBS. Let me say it that way. I bet that lactose issue then has got to be frustrating, Mock. That would be, ooh, butter cake. I've never heard of that, but that sounds delicious. And I do love me some cheesecake. I don't get it very often, but I do love cheesecake. Kamel says the doctors blame my IBS and my fibromyalgia. No, and that's possible. Fibromyalgia is also, considered a chronic illness. And they're delving into, in the research now, the connections between chronic illness and having poor gut biomes. So between dealing with our stress, dealing with our trauma, having a healthy gut, I think when we start combining all of these things, we definitely can take some huge steps to improving our overall health. Whether it's going to ever get rid of a certain condition, I can't say. And I don't think the research is there to support any of that yet. But I'm excited where 10 years down the road might be. We might have, I won't say a cure for fibromyalgia, but at least some steps that are going to make it much, much more manageable and dealing with it on a level that is not debilitating. It's fascinating. So, but the research isn't quite there yet on some of these. But I did read about the interaction between the gut health and the chronic illnesses. It's an area that I want to delve into. And when I talk on Saturday, if I'm speaking about a gut health connection to stress, anxiety, inflammatory diseases, if you want to delve more into one specific area and have a live just on, gut health and inflammatory issues, gut health and chronic illnesses, I'd be happy to do that. I'd be happy to delve more deeper. Listen to me. I'd be happy to delve deeper into that subject and present live on it. So definitely in the comments, either here or on Saturday, let me know what you guys are interested in. And there's more of my ums. At least I'm noticing them in my lives. I wasn't before. So yeah, Tommy, you have gotten in my brain. Congratulations. Butter cake is yeast dough with butter, sugar, almonds on top, seeping. Ah, that does sound very yummy. Yum, 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 yum. Crystal's asking if it's sort of like Germany sweet cake, which I've never had that either, so definitely can't tell. Hey, Misha, how are you doing? No worries. Actually, I'm just going to be wrapping up the live here on Sunday, or on Sunday, at 7. I've been battling a headache all day, and I took some medication for it and didn't get enough sleep, I think, to get rid of it and to get some of the fogginess out of my brain that the medication causes. So we're going to be continuing this conversation on Saturday. So you can certainly join us then for for a deeper, much more deeper. Listen to me. See, it's my first language, Jimena, and I still can't get them right. Thanks all. I appreciate it. All your well wishes. Thanks, Barbie. Thanks, Misha. I appreciate it. I was like, what the heck? I looked outside and I'm like, the air pressure just decided to change all of a sudden. And then about 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, storm came through. It started snowing like a big dog. And I said, oh, there we go. That is the reason for my headache. So I will be going to bed shortly after this. Amanda says, now I'm hungry. You should smell the dinner that my son is making himself downstairs. I got everything ready for him. I'm like, this is how you cook this. We've got leftover of this, and here's, the vegetables in the freezer, and uh, get everything. It was all set, and he is cooking these bacon wrapped pork loins. So it's center pork loin, and then they wrap bacon around it, and then they package it up just like that, and they're pretty good. Pretty good. And I can smell that cooking downstairs. And yeah, for as icky as I feel, it's like, oh, that smells good. And that makes me hungry. I think I'm just going to have another banana or something light on my stomach before I go to bed. So yeah, we're right on 7 now. And Misha, I will definitely check my email when I get better. That'll be the first thing I do when I get up in the morning. I will pull up my email because I know Christy was sending me an email too. So that's awesome. Crystal, yucks. Who else just popped in and said it's freaking cold? Oh, Misha, yeah. And you're farther south than we are. It's just, I'm amazed at how far south this cold is going. And I mean, how cold it is for you guys. Excuse me. My tummy sticks. Your lips do just get really dry. That and anytime going out in this cold, I mean, it's so cold you spend 5 minutes out there, and if you swear, my lips are already chapped. Oh, Misha's getting sick, not feeling good. Ugh, yuck. Chili to clear the sinuses. Onion, garlic, asparagus, all good things I heard to eat. Good for your gut health. I'll just throw those out there right now. But I'll be talking more about those on Saturday. Yeah. Oh God, Amanda, you're just killing me, girl. 28 Celsius where you are, just like 80, high 70s. It's perfect. 82.4. Yes. I'm getting good at this conversion thing. I'm getting there. I still remember being in first grade and I was told this poem. I think maybe I've said this once before. That for Celsius to kind of give you a gauge as to where it is when somebody's telling you a Celsius. So a Celsius to what it's going to feel like is 30 is hot, 20 is nice, 10 is cool, and 0 is ice. And by golly, it's a pretty good marker. But it's just this little rhyme that if you can keep it in your brain, I'm like 30, hot, okay, high 80s, mid 80s, whatever, and it just kind of goes down. I'm like, huh. Turmeric as well. Yeah, turmeric's real good for you. There's been a bunch of research that's been going on that. just one of the things before we go is that I want to stress, as I said before, there isn't any one thing. There's no magic pill. You look at all of these things out there and it's like, just take this probiotic and it's going to fix your gut health. Well, not necessarily. Are you a man? Are you a woman? What's your individual life like? What's your individual gut health like? Because our mood and our stress level and all of that's going to affect our gut. So you can be taking all the best probiotics in the world, but if you've got other things going on that is affecting your gut health, it's not going to be a fix. So just taking turmeric, just adding that to something, just adding garlic to your diet, none of these are singular fixes. It's a combination of all of these factors, and that's why I want to set this all out for you guys in a cohesive manner on Saturday so that we can really understand all of what goes into this, and to discuss this non-singularity, that there's not just one fix, and it's not A causes B. It's A may have a huge impact on B, but there's all these other things that are affecting it. So Echo got home. Yay! Ugh, and your sinuses are acting up, Crystal. Well, hugs and love just to everybody, but extra hugs and love to all of those who aren't feeling well. I know Ruby's mommy stopped in and said she was laying down because she wasn't feeling good, and Shannon's coming down with something, and so hugs to Crystal and Awakened as well, and everybody else who might be feeling a little bleh. Echo, I'm glad you're feeling better. It sounded like you still had a little bit of a cough today, but I think whatever the worst of what you had is gone. And so I'm happy about that. Mark, you are right. You do need to acclimate to the weather in order to enjoy the benefits. I was speaking with a friend who promised himself he was going to go running for a year, every day, no matter what. And we were speaking about the cold weather. He did this last year, I think, and what he was done. And sometimes the runs were only a mile because it was so cold. It didn't matter how much you had on. Um, something, at least your eyes, even if you've got, glasses over them, it's just seeping through everything, when it's the Arctic cold that hits you. So he did run, he did do it. He ran every day for 365 days. Actually, I think he was longer than that. I think he went 14, 15 months. But some of those runs were a little shorter. So I can't do it. It gets to 40 and running, exercising outside. I don't like things in front of my mouth. I can't have anything in front of my nose. I've spoken to you guys about the issue I have with, things right in front of my face. So wearing a scarf or a balaclava or, something like that is just not in my playbook. So when it gets to 40 or below, being outside and exercising where I'm really drawing that air in, it just hurts my lungs. I mean, hurts it. It's painful. And I can't, um, I can't have anything in front of there to warm up the air before it hits me. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? Oh, I'm glad you stopped in to say hi. Isn't that wild? Mock says where she is in Germany is basically on par latitude-wise with the Canadians. I think of Germany as being like maybe on par with me or a little farther south. And I think southern Germany maybe is on par with me, but I don't think about how far north it actually goes. That's amazing. Oh, Crystal used to walk to work in the negative 40 degrees Celsius days. Oh, I can't even imagine. Yeah, I've never been able to be out with that. First, my ears get cold and I get a massive headache. So I have found I can wear like a fleece bandana and that helps. And so I can do colder things. So I was able to do things like tubing and skiing and just playing out in the snow with my son and things like that. So I was able to last a little longer doing those types of things. But to exercise, to do fast walks or to try and run, nope, can't do it. It is just not on my not on my routine. So, okay, guys. Well, with that, a little bit short of a live tonight, but hopefully that got some thoughts going with you. If there's anything you think of that you want to mention, please shoot them down in the comments. If you haven't hit that like button, please do so. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. I promise you guys there'll be some episodes that are for you, and it helps push the like and the comments afterwards helps push our content out to more people, and that's what we want to do is we want to reach more people so that they can be helped. It is not about pure numbers. It is only about the amount of people who could be helped by the content that I put up here and by the connection that this chat brings. And this community, this SaaS community, is one of the best around. I know that I found some other great communities with some other channels that I've been on. Creating Change is one of them. Guy is over there. It's mainly a music channel. A lot of people who are into music play the guitar, they do songs. And so if you like music, music therapy is into, he's all about positive vibes, good vibes over there. And for the rest of February, he's on twice a day. And you can find him over at Creative. Is it Creative or Creating Change? If Kamal or Shannon is out there, if you guys could look that up for me and throw that up real quick, I'd really greatly appreciate it. They're on from 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time, 10 to 1. 10 to 1. They're on from 10 to 1 for the rest of February. And then normally they come on in the evening sometimes, but the time's kind of been all over the place. I'll wait a second till I can get. Kamal, can you find Creating Change or Creative Change? Let me see if I've got it. I think I might be able to get it here from my notifications once everything loads. Loading is slow because so many tabs open for my research. So things are a little slow over here. Creating Change. It is Creating Change. There you go. There's a link to one of the lives. So I just pulled it out real quick. Hey, William, how you doing tonight? Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. You're gonna have to go on replay. No worries. I found one and threw it up. I don't think it's in link form, however, but you guys can copy and paste from it. I just did a shorter live tonight, but if you catch the replay, we're just introducing the concept between our gut health and our mental health and how complex that is and how much there is to talk about. And we're going to be continuing this conversation on Saturday and talking about much more details and talking about more connections between our gut health and more specific mental conditions in terms of anxiety and depression and stress, as well as things like inflammatory conditions and immune conditions. So all of that's going to be on Saturday. And if you weren't here earlier for my announcement, and there's a thumbnail up for Saturday, there's not a thumbnail up for Saturday. There is well, the live has been created, so you can go to it, but I don't have a made thumbnail up. I'm in the process of doing that for Saturday, but I have a big, huge announcement Saturday to make. So I hope you can join me. It will be the first thing that I will do, even before reminding you about our craft day on Sunday at 11 a.m. for our clothesline project. I will be doing my announcement because I am bouncing out of my seat, so excited, but the news does not go public until Friday, so I can't mention anything until after then. So once they have pushed the information out to the public, and I'll be able to open my mouth on social media. So until then, you have to wait, and I have to wait, and I'm bouncing in my seat doing it. But it's only another couple of days. Who knows? I may even jump the gun and do an impromptu live on Friday, just because I can't hold it anymore. We'll see. David is going to be here on Friday to see him. I haven't seen him in a few months, and almost three months now. Yeah, 3 months. Be about 3 months. So excited to see him. He's dropping by, and gonna sit and chit chat with him. So I've got that to look forward to. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week and a good start to your weekend. I hope to see you here at 3 p.m. on Saturday to continue our discussion about gut health and mental health and the connection between the two, and what can we do to effectuate change with it. How can we make our conditions better? That's going to be a large part of our talk, because that's what we're all looking for. It's like, oh, great, there's connection. Now what? What can we do? So we'll be talking about a lot of different things we can do, because as I mentioned, it's not a one size fits all, and there's no one single pill or one single thing that's going to fix any particular condition or your gut in general. Excuse me. Hey, Hollywood, how are you? Thanks for stopping by tonight. Hold on, guys. Oh, excuse me. Nope, I didn't go off camera. I got a dry spot in my throat. You ever have that, like, dry spot in your throat, and it's like all of a sudden it turns into a really difficult time talking? Oh my goodness. Oh, that was hard. Oh, Hollywood says I'm a subscriber on your channel, either Kamel's channel or my channel. I'm not sure which one he's talking about, but yeah. Ned's thrown up Barbie's channel. Woohoo! So go ahead and check that out, and also throw up Teresa Murphy's channel. So you can go over there and check her out. And Echo's channel got thrown up. I know that tomorrow is Thursday, so I do believe she is live at noon or 1 Eastern doing trivia. So I'm not quite sure. Tea, Lemon, and Honey used to be a choir singer. Me too, Mock. Me too. Yes. My mom was a huge choir singer at our temple, and whenever she had sinus issues, she would eat horseradish, either in something or just chop it up real fine and just take it. Generally, chop it up real fine and chop up some apples really fine and eat a couple big spoonfuls, or she would just down a teaspoon of chopped up horseradish, and whew, does that clear your sinuses? So if anybody has sinus issues, you can try that. That may help. It certainly helped my mom. Hey, Slim, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. I am just about to click off here, actually, but I'm glad you're here, and I will definitely stop by probably, no, Friday or Saturday. Um, Slim Cricket Entertainment has a channel. He's on late night usually. See, usually, I think almost exclusively you're live. Sometimes you throw up a short here or there. Um, but it's just a chit chat. He'll play some music and we just kind of chat about whatever what's on your mind. So it literally has been anything from bunnies to politics. I mean, and anything in between. Lots of music talk. So definitely stop in and check out Slim. Thanks, Misha. Um, check out Slim if you're a night owl and you're up late. I think he generally doesn't go on until about 10 o'clock or so at night. So occasionally he throws a live up at like 6 when he's driving home. And that's been a lot of times when I've caught him and just said hi to the crew over there. But nice group of people and new people stopping in all the time who are finding him. So if you are up late at night and you find yourself wanting to chat with some people and connect, head on over to Slim's channel. All right, guys, that is it for me today. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks for putting up with this little bit of a rambling content. Just couldn't quite get it all together in my brain to set out everything that I wanted to. So Saturday, we're going to go through this in a much more particular order. And we are going to start with brain function. I'm going to go over that a little bit more. And then we're going to talk about our gut biome and kind of what it is, what different things are, what the bacteria is, what's a probiotic, what's a prebiotic. So we have a concept of when we're talking about these things, what does it even mean? Because I didn't know the difference between a pre and a probiotic, and where do you get one versus the other, and why one's important, and why either one of them are important. So we'll speak about that, and then we were going to talk about this brain-gut axis, this connection between the two, and how they interact with each other and affect each other. Much love to you, Misha. Thank you so much for being here and doing some of those wrenchings. You kept rambling on your mind. Thanks for wrenching a little bit. All of my wrenches, Shannon, Kramal, Misha. I think that's all of my wrenches here today. I don't want to miss anybody. So thank you, because each and every one of you worked as you were here, and I really appreciate it. It makes my job so much easier to just talk about things and know that things are getting thrown up. You guys are great, and you've been awesome, and looking out for the chat as well, making sure that everything's kosher with everyone who stops into the community. So really appreciate it. And she set up Shannon's channel as well there. So hugs and love to all of you guys. Please remember, you are worthy, you are valuable, and you are loved just the way you are for who you are. Giant hugs and love out there to everybody, and especially extra hugs and love to everyone who's not feeling so great. I hope you all get better very, very soon. Here, surviving together, never alone. We'll see you on Saturday, guys. Be there. Big announcement.
In the darkest nights, we find our light. Battered souls, but we won't lose sight. Surviving together, never alone. Through every trial, we carry on. Surviving together, never alone. Through every trial, we carry on.
We hear you and we believe you.